so first thing that we're going to take care of today is we're going to try to get this brake drum separated from this axle so that we can get all the brake parts out, because we're going to need to put new brakes on this thing. I also had an idea about this axle shaft. I'm wondering if I can just cut the ends of this off and maybe still use this axle shaft. So we'll see. That would save us about $70, so that would be great if I could do that. Of course, I don't want a tire flying off because the kids will be on this, so if it looks like it'll work, great. If it don't, then I'll spend the money because safety's more important. So let's get to work. Let's see if we can get this off. Alright, so the tire setup wasn't working. It was moving around too much. So this is a little more solid. So we're going to see if we can get this thing pressed off. The black hammer's not working. We're using this. We're just going to have to buy a new axle because this end's going to get jacked up even more. So let's see with more of a solid base if we can't get this out. Sweet. Alright, there's the drum. It's filthy, like everything else has been. This is all loose. There's a backing plate. I don't know if you can tell, but I mean, we got pads just falling off. So there's no telling how long this hasn't been any good. So we'll clean all this up. We get new seals, bearings for this. We'll be able to do these ourselves, unlike the rear end. Yeah, so, alright, so next thing we're going to do is I'm going to just disassemble this, and then, which there isn't much to disassemble. Shoot, I mean, we can take it apart right now, probably. Yep, there we go, disassemble. So, I need to get the rear end ready to send off to get it rebuilt. So, I'm going to pull out the pressure washer, and we'll pressure wash all these pieces and get them clean, and then we'll hopefully get it in the mill today. So let's do it. Alright, so we got all the parts cleaned up, we'll get everything dried up, and then we'll get this thing sent in the mill. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and attempt to remove the bearings and the seals from this. Like everything else, it's been a job. Hopefully this won't be. We will find out. Alright, let's try to get it off. That is a good thing. Alright, so with the bearings and seals out of the rear brakes, we can go ahead and order a rear brake kit to put new rear brakes on this thing. We need to order bearings, seals, and then we also need to order some axle seals as well. And then we can put that back together. I'm going to go ahead and reorder the axle, or a new axle. I just think that one is too beat up at this point. It took a lot of effort to get that axle shaft out of this frozen brake drum. So we'll go ahead and get that reordered as well. I'm going to go ahead and package up the rear differential, and we'll get that sent off and get it fixed as well. That's going to be about $175. And then of course I got to pay shipping there, and then they pay expedited shipping back. And I can drop their link below. It's an eBay listing, and they do a lot of repairs on rear differentials on four-wheelers. So if you are interested in using them, you can. I'm not getting paid to use them or anything like that. It's just the only place that I found that was decently priced to where I could get that taken care of. So after we get all that back, we'll start putting things together. I'll go out there and take a look and see what else we can maybe do to get it ready so we can drive it and ride it around when we get everything back. I know I need to clean up where the drive shaft is. I need to clean up the drive shaft. And then just clean up in the rear back there, get all the mud out. Y'all might see that. I'm not sure. It's kind of boring when you're just cleaning stuff, but I might record it. You can fast forward if you don't want to watch it, or I might not. So, yeah, that's really all I got right now. All right, everyone. So we are going to go ahead and tear into the front end of the Honda. I'm still waiting on parts to come in. I know I'm going to have to redo the brakes on the front. You can tell that they definitely need some work. So we're gonna go ahead and, hey Daisy, hey girl, I see you. But you can definitely tell that they're gonna need some work. The front end is gonna need some work. You see how much mud was in everything else, so I'm sure it's gonna be pretty nasty up front as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull the tires off. Go ahead and take apart the front brakes. I got new pads coming. Take a look at the seals and bearings, see what they look like, and that way we'll be one step closer to putting everything back together and riding this bad boy. So, all right, let's get started. So surprisingly, the bearings actually look pretty new on this thing. So I'm not gonna probably need to do anything with the bearings on this. I don't know if you can tell, the brake pads actually, they don't look horrible either. But I did go ahead and order them, so we're just gonna go ahead and put new ones on anyway. But it's actually not as bad in here as I thought. I got new springs as well as new brake pads coming, so that'll be good. So, all right, let's head to the other side and get that one taken off as well. Looks like we got the same story here. Bearing looks new, seal on the front also looks very, very new as well. Definitely dirty. We'll get in there with some brake parts cleaner, get everything cleaned up. Brake pads, about the same as the other side. Actually, this one looks like it has newer springs in here. So these brakes probably were replaced not too long ago, but we're going to go ahead and replace them. Then we'll know when they were done, and they need some cleaning up. So. Got a busted breather tube right here. Definitely gonna have to look at the master cylinder. I don't have nothing on the brakes, so the master cylinder might need to be rebuilt as well. So, let's take the brake pads off on the other side. Forgot to do that while I was over there. Alright, so that's good. We'll hit that with some brake parts cleaner. Yep, bearing looks good there. So I think we're good on that. Breather hose is busted on this one as well. So. Alright, so here's our master cylinder right here. You can see there's nothing in there. Pull the cap off real quick. We'll see if we even have fluid in there. Probably not. And see what we're looking at. That's what I was afraid of. It's stripped out. Time to get the Dremel tool. Oh yeah. See, dry as a bone in there. There's no fluid at all. Probably gonna need to order a new master cylinder since we busted the cap and everything. Well, we didn't bust the cap. We could actually still use the cap and the pieces inside of it, but it might be fun getting those screws out. We'll try real quick. If we can't, I might just order a new master cylinder for this thing. Alright, so this is going to be a wrap for this video. We broke apart the brakes, got everything ready for new brake pads. We've got to clean everything up real well. Don't have time to knock that out tonight. I might video that, might not. It's just basically cleaning things up. Also got the master cylinder top cover taken off. Found some broken bolts, so we might have to fix that. I'm going to also price out a new master cylinder, and we'll just see which way we end up going. If it's not too expensive, I'm probably just going to replace it. I do have one question for you all, so I'm going to flip the camera around and get y'all's opinion on something. I checked prices for fender flares for this thing, and they are ridiculously expensive. More than what I paid for the motorcycle, or what I paid for the four-wheeler. So I had an idea, so I'll run it by y'all. Let me know in your comments below what you think. I think that it will look okay, and I think this is what we'll probably end up doing, but I do want to get y'all's feedback. All right, so what I'm thinking is the flares that I'm talking about are they're black flares that go right along here. So I'm thinking, instead of spending the money on getting those, actually thinking about just cutting along the fender where the line is right here. Just cutting that off, squaring this up, because all this mess is super expensive. You can tell that it's been like this for a while. It's like melting on the exhaust. So probably take this little black piece off, trim that across, and then probably do the same thing on the back where the flares are supposed to go. Just start right here and cut all the way along the fender, and then all the way back down through here, and then across. So basically we're just going to follow this line. We'll drive it across and we'll drop it down right there. So I think that will probably be good. I think that's going to look pretty nice. We might end up putting a little bit bigger tires on this thing as well, maybe a small lift. So we will see where it ends up going, but I definitely think cutting that part on the fenders off will not look bad. So like I said, let me know in the comments below what you think, and I will talk to y'all next time.